In this video, we will discuss an intermediate level example of VLOOKUP in Google Sheets. This is the second part of a three-part video series about the uses of VLOOKUP function in Google Sheets. If you are not comfortable with the basics of VLOOKUP, I suggest you to watch part 1 first. The link will be in the description or up there. And if you're new to the channel, please consider supporting me by subscribing and turning on the notifications, because I'll be sharing a wide range of courses on this channel from beginner to advanced level that you will typically find in paid training sessions only. With that being said, let's jump into our example without any delay. So here is our intermediate example in which we have further complexity added as compared to our basic example where we only had the category and the unit sale and price data. In this example, we have the 4 regions in addition to the categories: north, south, east, and west. And also we have the prices for different regions that are also different. So 2 more variables are entering into our problem. In this case, we have the 3 quarters data for 4 regions for each of our 4 products here. And in this case, we want to find out the number of cameras that are sold in the south region during the quarter number 3. And then we also want to retrieve the price of that particular region, because prices are different in each region. And finally, we want to find out the sales value. In this example, we will use the if formula inside of the VLOOKUP formula because we have different ranges in this problem. So let's go ahead and I will start typing the VLOOKUP formula, and in the search key I will choose the PC here. Actually, let me first change this to cameras and south. Right, so I will write VLOOKUP formula here, and the search key is camera. And in the range, now here is the problem. In this case, we don't have a single range, and also we have the region, which is another criteria. So we want to look up multiple ranges in this problem instead of just one range. So if we have the south region here, we want to look up in this data set, and similarly if we have the north, then we want to look up in this data set. So to handle this situation, we will use the if formula inside of the VLOOKUP formula, and in the logical expression I will say that if the region here is equal to the north, then check the value in this data set. Put a comma, and it's asking what if the value is false, means what if I cannot find the south in this data set. So we will write here again another if formula, and if this condition is not true, then see if this is equal to south, then I want you to look in this data set. And it's say if this condition is also not true, or if I cannot find the south in this data set, we will say if this is equal to east, then look up our value in this data set and press comma. And it says even if this is not correct, so even if all of these 3 conditions are not fulfilled, we only have the 1 data set left. So if you cannot find our value in all of these 3 data sets, then we only have 1 data set left. So find in this data set, then close the parentheses, and the range argument is handled by the if function. Then I'm going to press comma, and in the index I will use the match function, which we have already discussed in our basic example. The search key this time is the quarter, which is Q3 here. And where is the range? The range is here. And the search type is of course 0 because we want the exact match. Close the brackets, put a comma, and write false, then hit enter, and it will bring up the 2026, which is actually the camera sold in south region during the quarter 3, as you can see here in our data set. So now this problem is done. Using the same logic, we want to bring the price of that particular region here. So here I will simply go over to this formula, and I will copy this formula right here, and in the argument where it says the Q3, I will just remove this and I will choose the price as our argument. Then we'll hit enter, and it will give us the price for the relevant quarter that we are looking for. And now if I change this to fonts and north and Q1, for example, it will give us the units sold in Q1 for the north region. And also it will update the price to 245.15 which is right here. And now that we have done it, we can simply multiply them to find our sales value. And as we have already discussed in our basic example, we can automate these three inputs or the three criterias to use the data validation. Add the rule here and drop down from a range and select these 4 as our range, then click done. Okay, and now we can simply choose from this drop down menu and our results will automatically update here. Now before moving on to our advanced example, let's quickly go over another intermediate level example in which we will learn how to pull data from multiple sheets using the VLOOKUP function. In this example, we will also learn a new concept which is called the named ranges, because when there are multiple sheets involved and the formulas become long and complex, it becomes impractical to navigate to the sheets one by one to pull in the data. So let's look into this example where we have got a total of 33 orders, and those order IDs are written here in our column A. And in the next 4 sheets, we have the weekly order data by product name and the sales. It's very practical that not all of the orders are fulfilled, and it's very possible that in between this data set there are some order IDs that are missing. For example, if you look into this week 1, here we have the order ID 10012, and then we do not have the order ID number 1003, which means that this order is cancelled. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to apply the formula here that looks up this order ID in week 1, 2, 3, and 4, and if it doesn't find that order ID, it should return that order is cancelled. And also in the column number C, we want to pull in the sales value for each of the week to total up all of our sales for the month. So let's go ahead and first of all pull in the product names using the VLOOKUP function. First, we will start with a very basic VLOOKUP formula again. And in the search key, I want to look up the order ID. And now it's asking, where is your range? And in this case, we have 4 ranges, one in sheet 1, 2, 3, and 4. So instead of going like this and choosing the ranges just like that, we want to create the named ranges for all of these sheets. Let's go ahead here to the data, and here I will click this named ranges, and then I will switch to my week 1 sheet, and there I will add a name range. I will call it week 1, and from here I will just choose this range here, and then I'm going to click OK and then click done. Now this name range is created. Switch to the week 2 sheet, and then we will create another name range. We will call it week 2 and choose this data here. Then we'll click done. Right, and go to the sheet 3, click name range, name in week 3, and then choose this data set here. Click OK, then go to week 4, add a range, write week 4, and then select this range here, click OK, and done. Now we have the 4 named ranges created. Now let's go to our VLOOKUP formula, and in the search key apply here, and in the name range, now I will not switch to my sheet. I will just type week, and you can see it's already giving me the named range that we have created. So I will choose week 1, and in the index number we can see that our product name in all of the 4 sheets are in the column number 2. So for now I will just write column number 2, and later on I will let you know how to automate this as well. Put a comma, and in the I will just write false. Now it brings up the phone, which is the product name that is sold against this order ID. But watch what happens if I drag this down. So the order IDs that are not present in our week 1, it has returned the error. Now we want to loop through each of the 4 sheets to find out where these order IDs are. And if this is giving error, what we want to do? Let's delete this thing, and here I will apply IFERROR formula. Although we can do this with other formulas, but just to keep the thing simple, I'm using the IFERROR formula. In the IFERROR formula, it's asking the value argument, which is already handled by the VLOOKUP function, and then I'm going to press comma sign, and it says what if there's an error. So I will write order cancelled. All right, just like that. And now if I drag this down for any order ID that it could not find, it will return order cancelled. But this problem is not yet solved because we have just looked into our week 1. Now let's go ahead and solve this problem in a simple manner. I will copy this formula and then I will paste this formula here, and instead of week 1 I will choose here week 2. Then press OK, and again in the next row I will choose week 3. And if you are feeling overwhelmed, don't worry, in a moment you will understand what's happening. And then I will write week 4. So now if I drag all of them down and press Ctrl D here, you can see that it has pulled up the values from all of the weekly sheets that we have here. Now what I want to do is that simply I will merge these formulas together into a single cell. So I've created these formulas separately just to make the thing simple for you to understand. Now let's go ahead and, excluding the equal sign, I will copy this formula and I will F2 here, and in place of this order cancelled I will remove this and I will paste this formula here. Press enter, and then I will come back here again, do the same thing, copy the formula, and in the order cancelled I will paste this formula, and finally I will copy this formula in the order cancelled button here, and let's click OK. Now let's delete all of them, and now let's drag this formula down. And now you can see that for the order IDs that are cancelled, for example 1003, you can see here we do not have 1003 in this data set, and 1012, and let's see here we also do not have 1012 here. So for each of the week it has checked our data set, and where we did not have the order IDs it has returned us the order cancelled. And now the final task is to bring up the sales against these order IDs. So we are not going to waste time writing these formulas again, because we already know that our sales values are in column number 3. So I will just go to this formula and simply copy this whole formula here, F2, paste this formula, and just I will write 3 here, 3 here. Just replace this 2 with the column number 3, just like that, and press enter, and it will bring up the sales value from our data set. And let's verify this. Let's check this order ID 1001, go here 1548, let's see 1011, 1011 here, 1011, 1011 here. So it's correctly pulling the values from all of the 4 sheets that we have here. And now if we also want to automate this 2 here, we can do this by using the match functions. So to do this I will again create 4 more named ranges. Let's go to our week 1 and click data here, then go to the named range, and I'm gonna name this M week 1, and here I will choose this as my first range. Click done, go to week 2, and similarly I will add another named range here. I will name this M week 2, then choose this, okay, go to week 3, then again create a name range M week 3, and choose this, and finally go to the week 4, name this M week 4, and there you go. All of our 4 ranges are now created. Now let's go back to our formula, and here in place of this 2 we can automate this by using the match function again. So in the search key I will choose the product name because that's what we want to look up. Then in the range I'm not gonna switch to the next sheet, I will just write M week, and it gives me the options to choose from. I will simply choose the M week 1, and here in the search type I will write 0, then close the parenthesis, and if now I hit enter, you can see that it has updated the formula and the result is same. And now we will use the same logic. We will just come here and copy this match formula, and in this 2 place I'm just gonna paste this formula and change the name to week 2, And similarly, I will do the same thing for the remaining 2 weeks as well. Just like that. 4, click OK. The results are same. Now let's drag this formula down and again copy this formula, and then I will just copy this formula here, and right now I will change this B2 to C2 because in this case we want to look up our sales. So just I will change this to C2 and replace the same value in all of the 4 formulas as well, just like that, and click OK. Done, and that's all. So that was an intermediate level example of how you can use the VLOOKUP formula in Google Sheets to pull up the values from multiple sheets based on the different criteria. And now it's time to move on to the advanced level, or part 3 of this video series, where we will discuss the uses of VLOOKUP in Google Sheets by going through an even more complex example involving multiple criteria and problems. Video's link will be in the description, and it will also be appearing on your screen right now. Feel free to comment if you have any questions, and if you find it helpful, don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe for more valuable content. I will see you in the next video.